One morning, she was on her way to the village market when she noticed people gathering at a spot close to the market square. She wondered what could be the problem. At a time, she wanted to mind her business and continued her way to the market. And at the same time, she decided to go closer to know why people were gathering, and to her amazement, it was a madman known as Auntie Give Me Small Food. Once upon a time, in a small village surrounded with lush green valleys of Africa, there lived a young woman named Nkechi. Nkechi was a beautiful and hardworking girl who was loved by not only her parents but by the villagers. She was a woman in her early 20s, young, vibrant, and diligent in all she does. But there is only one thing that her parents and the villagers find weird about her. Despite her beauty, she would always reject suitors who came to seek for her hand in marriage. In her early 20s, she had rejected almost half of the able men in and out of the village. Her reasons were seen as irrelevant. Her parents, relatives, and friends tried their best to convey her to pick one from the suitors and marry. And as they say, time waits for no one, and also make good use of time when there is one. But despite all their talks, Nkechi stood on her ground. As days turned into weeks and weeks into months, Nkechi remained beautiful and hardworking. She was a kind-hearted woman, full of love and life, and despite her rejecting suitors, never made the villagers to hate her. Instead, they loved her more for her kind heart and generosity towards them. But as they also say, no matter how good you are, people will always judge you wrongly. One morning, she was on her way to the village market when she noticed people gathering at a spot close to the market square. She wondered what could be the problem. At a time, she wanted to mind her business and continued her way to the market. And at the same time, she decided to go closer to know why people were gathering, and to her amazement, it was a madman popularly known as Auntie Give Me Small Food. The madman recently moved into the village, and that made the villagers to wonder where he came from, as no one was able to know where he came from or recognize him. And to crown it all, he stole bread from a store that morning, which made people to gather him that very morning. Some of the village youths was about to beat him after questioning him without proper response, when Nkechi screamed out loud from the crowd, ordering them not to touch him. The village youth were shocked and surprised, at the same time angry at Nkechi from stopping them. Nkechi felt pity for the madman. She paid for the bread which he stole and said to the villagers, "He is only a madman. He is hungry and that's why he stole the bread. He didn't steal it to waste it, but to eat it and save himself from starvation. Why then do you want to beat him up because of bread?" At that moment, the villagers were so ashamed of themselves for their wrongdoing, and they had no choice than to go back to their daily chores. Nkechi pulled the madman up from the ground, dusted his clothes, and brought more bread for him to eat. At first, she thought he was just one of the regular madmen in the village. not until he said thank you to her. She was shocked that he could talk. She turned to him and said, "Don't steal again. Instead, beg for it. When it's given to you, thank your chi. And when it's not given to you, also thank your chi in order to avoid the wrath of the youth." And the madman nodded his head in agreement. The next day, Nkechi finished cooking when she remembered the madman. After they had finished eating, she dished some portion of food in a bowl and went straight to the spot where she met the madman the previous day. But unfortunately, she didn't see him there. She asked the owner of the store where he stole the bread the previous day, and she said she haven't seen him since the previous day. Nkechi was sad and wondered where the madman had gone to. She searched for him but couldn't find him and decided to go back home. Some days later, she took food in a bowl again and headed to the same spot but couldn't find the madman. She returned home sad and worried, thinking about the madman and what would have happened to him. While thinking about the madman, her mother walked in and noticed how sad she was. She asked to know what troubled her, and without hesitations, she told her mother the reasons for her sadness, and out of sympathy for the madman, her mother consoled her and encouraged her to keep searching for the madman, and hopefully she would find him someday. Nkechi felt a bit relieved after listening to her mother and hoped to find the madman soon. What do you think about this story? Will Nkechi ever find the madman, who is also known as Auntie Give Me Small Food? Drop your answers at the comment section and don't forget to support our channel by subscribing, like and share to your loved ones. Stay tuned and remain blessed. See you soon in our next story. Bye bye.